All right, to start off with, excuse all the sniffling. I'm getting over a cold. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man Lincoln Clay, and we are back with a live stream of Assetto Corsa Competizione on PS5. I tried to do a stream on the PC a little while ago, but I'm having PC issues. Looks like my computer's decided to do the big reset. Um, I haven't really used my PCs at all this week because I kind of been monkeying around with the PS5 or just sitting around watching YouTube. So when I finally fired my PCs up, they all needed updates, and some of my apps were returned to their default settings, and in some cases when I went to go try to put the settings back where I had it, um, I was getting error messages and just it was just a big old headache. Um, and so when I tried to stream, I used the two PC setup uh, from this PC and stream from the PC in my bedroom. And normally I don't have any problems, but on this go round, yes, I had problems. I don't know what it was. I might have to reset my router. I don't know what the issue was. Um, So I just decided I didn't want to deal with that headache. And besides, I think for the most part, I don't know if I would have streamed from the PC, I don't know if it would have been anything worth watching. Because the reason, for those of you who might have seen the title, I entitled it Starting Over from the Gutter. Because basically what happened this morning, I got up, jumped on PC, and then once again, I was having one of those thoughts where um, maybe I ought to do a few laps in the Porsche 911 because I did pay for the Coach Dave setups. And normally when I drive that car, I felt like it was too unstable, most notably snap oversteer. But today I got in the car and it felt extremely stable to the point where I could trust it. And so I did a few laps with it, got used to it. And then I tried to jump back into this car, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, I mean, it had virtually no force feedback because every one of these cars are different with their physics and their force feedback. So this car had almost no force feedback, even with my wheelbase turned all the way up to 75%. Now I think that's the equivalent of 14 newton meters of torque. Um, no, maybe 15. Yeah, I think it might be the equivalent of 15 newton meters of torque. And in any case, um, I felt virtually no force feedback. Therefore, it made it easy for me to oversteer this car. The brakes were locking up by me just barely touching the pedal, and I was sliding or understeering right off the track. And so I decided to come back to the 911 and it felt stable. I felt like I could trust it. So I decided to go ahead and go back to the 911. The problem with that is that I've got to learn this car all over again. Therefore, it's made me a second slower. And that's why I had it entitled Starting Over from the Gutter, because I'm basically starting over from ground zero. So it wouldn't have. So even if you would have seen the stream on PC, you guys probably would have got bored, after a couple of minutes watching me turn in lap times that are a couple of seconds slower than normal. But I will get it. But in the meantime, I got about an hour before I go pick my son up, so I wanted to jump on and do a little something. And so I'm on PS5. Let's see what we got for multiplayer. This would be a good time to play on PS5 anyway. So now that I've made the decision to switch to the 911 on PC, I'm wondering if I should do it here. So I think I'll go ahead and give it a try. (9112). I like that one. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go with that. We'll give it a shot. Here, let's spin her around and turn the lights on. Oh. Yeah, I guess point across. All right, let's see what we got. And so I'm learning another car all over again on PS5. So all this hopping around between PC and PS5 and learning new cars is to be expected. That I'm not going to do so hot. There's the ever popular Monza. Oh, there's a Watkins Glen. Let's give it a shot. More than likely, this is a 15-minute race. We'll leave that where it's at. So, whatever you plan to do for the New Year's, definitely be safe. And I would advise that if you're going to drink, I would advise that you stay home. That's where you would be safest at. Unless you have a bunch of hooligans over. If you plan to go somewhere and have a drink, you know, you've probably heard it a million times. Designated driver. Because you know the cops are going to be on the lookout, looking to take people to jail, because that's how they get their little funky bonuses, I'm sure. I'm starting dead last. Oh, this is a 25-minute race. In all likelihood, the 45 that I had in there was enough, but I just wanted to be safe. So right now, LFM is the off season for low field motorsports, but I guess they're doing some off season races, but they're mixed with GT4s, GT3s, I believe. I may decide to do one, but if I do, I'll have to record it and then upload the video since I'm again having streaming issues with the PC.
Seconds.
30 seconds. I'm used to feeling that thump from my bass shakers when I start the car up. So I did get my new amp. So I got my bass shakers back. And boy, have I missed them. I mean, when I'm on PS5, you know, I'm conditioned up here to know that I don't have my bass shaker. So, but on PC, when I'm wearing a VR headset, I feel like I gotta have them. Damn near got to stop and go.
Green light, he was okay.
Car feels unstable already.
Slow car out.
Oh shit. When I turn to the left, the car feels loose. What do you mean no? What did I get a track limit for? Look at that hiccup.
We're not late, but we're so fast to start. Yellow flag is set to go.
I had to turn the force speed back down. My hands are hurting already. Oh shit, my damn alarm.
We're not late, but the fastest lap so far.
Try to shut it off here in a second. J-Dog, what's up? How you been? Long time no comment. I might not be able to finish this race. My shoulders are burning. I'm doing good, sir. Hope you are as well. No!
Folks, we have to repair the car.
Oh, crike. Oh, that thing's still screaming. I thought I stopped it. Sorry about that. Damn. The alarm been going off this whole time. Sorry about that, folks. Are you hyped for PSVR 2? I'm hyped for I'm not necessarily hyped for the headset itself. I mean, it's going to be able to do a couple of things that my PC headsets can't do. You know, one is I don't have any headsets that do HDR. You know, there are PC headsets that do HDR. It doesn't have the pancake lenses, and none of my PCs have. None of my headsets have eye tracking. So right now, the PSVR 2 is going to be the most affordable headset that gives you pancake lenses, eye tracking, eye gazing, for the foveated rendering, in HDR, and haptics within the headset. I'm hoping for some racing games for it to be announced. We're going to get GT7 with VR support. I mean, they've even said it in the past that improving the VR was one of the goals of GT7. They've already said that. So everybody and their mother kind of figures it's we're going to get VR support for GT7. It's just a matter of whenever Sony quits bullshitting around and formally announces it. I mean, that was my reason for buying the PS5. Be able to play GT7 with VR support. Other games, I think F122 would get VR support, but not F122. I think they probably wouldn't add VR support to it until F123 comes out. Because I think if you give F122 VR support, then some people might be fine with buying F122 at a discounted rate and get the VR support, and then if they decide they don't like it, they won't buy F123. So I could see where they might wait until F123 to add VR support to that game, because I'm guessing it comes out in July, because F122 came out in July. So that's, as far as the big picture goes, that's not that far away. The PSVR 2 comes next month, late next month, end of February, and F123 will more than likely be out in July. So that's only a few months after the headset launches. So yeah, I don't think we'll get VR support for F122. I think we'll get it for F123 though, because I do think that the PS5 will be able to handle it. This game right here, I was hoping it would get VR support on PS5, but the developer directly answered my question. I was in the comment section of one of his streams, and I asked if ACC would get VR support on PS5, and his exact words were, "Too many resources. The console's not strong enough." I mean, that was his exact response, word for word. Which is a real big disappointment, but I mean, the game's not that well optimized on PC, so I could see where the console probably wouldn't be able to handle it, but I thought it would, because my thinking was if the PS5 could handle GT7 in VR, I would like to think it could handle this. But there is a huge difference though. With this game, you can have up to 25 cars, whereas on GT7, I think 16 is the most. Because I think when it first came out, it had 20, but I think they reduced it to 16. Some people think they reduced it to 16, so it would be able to make a crossplay with the weaker PS4, because they made the two games crossplay. But part of me thinks they might have did it to save resources for PSVR 2. Surprised GT7 VR mode hasn't been announced, or has it? Some people are speculating that it might be announced at CES, which I think CES is next week. So yeah, some people are speculating that it would get announced there. I'm thinking that if it's not a launch game for PSVR 2, it won't get announced. And I really hope that Sony don't pull this bullshit where they wait till November to add VR support or something like that. I mean, this game is there are mixed feelings with this game, with the bugs, the matchmaking, the BOPs, the microtransactions. So I think VR would give the game the spark that it needs right now, because anybody who wants to play this game is already playing it. So in my opinion, I don't think waiting until November or something like that. But as far as games, I've already bought Resident Evil Village because it was on sale for $20, and it's going to get VR support for free. I don't know if it'll be a launch title or not, but I'm going to grab the new Firewall game, and I'm going to grab that Sierra Squad because that looks slick too. It might be a little bit arcadey, but I'm going to grab that. I had to turn down the force feedback a little bit more. So let's look for another room. Oops, oopsie. All right, let's see what's out there. Oh, okay. Drive Club 2 VR would be sweet, but that ain't happening. Not only is it, I mean, it definitely ain't happening because they shut the servers down for Drive Club. So whether you play it in VR or flat screen, the servers are down. So the only way you're going to play Drive Club is single player. Um, I think over the next few years, as far as racing games on PS5, they could possibly have VR support that I think we'll get. Like I said, F123, GT7, and the developers of this game are currently working on Assetto Corsa 2. And they're developing their own. They're going to develop their own engine for Assetto Corsa 2, and one of their main focuses is going to be VR optimization. So whenever Assetto Corsa 2 comes out on PS5, I can see that being another game that gets VR support. But there won't be a Project Cars 4 because EA pulled the plug on it. And I really don't know of any other sim racing titles. Now I can see some arcade titles like Need for Speed getting VR support. I think there was a rumor that they could possibly bring Twisted Metal back and give that VR support. As far as motorsports games goes, I'd also like to see them bring back MotorStorm. That was a pretty cool game on PS3. So I just got the text message here. It looks like I'll have to leave in a few minutes. I might have time for one race. Okay, let's check the lobbies. Let me do one more race. Then I got to go pick my son up. There's a Mazda. There's an Imola. There's another Watkins Glen. Oh, Hungaroring, but no mid-session join. There's a Spa that's already full. So, looks like I got two choices. I can jump back into this Watkins Glen and wait for the next race. Or I can jump into this. I can try to catch this Hungaroring when the next session starts. And this Spa appears to be full. Yep. Yeah, and this Imola requires 2 track medals, and I don't have any. Or I can do Monza for the 88th time.
Mark, keep pushing.
have a look at the leader real quick. Check the timetables real quick, see what the fastest lap was. He did a 150.5, the second place car. And he did a 150.1. So the best I've ever done on PS5 on this track is 151.1, I believe. But my fastest lap ever is like 149.7, I believe, on PC. All right, let's go. Yeah, here comes the leader. I'm going to let him go past because I don't want to disrupt his race. Number 23 right there. If you notice, once he goes by, then I'm going to go on the track. He's coming up right now. Oh!
Faster car coming up behind you.
Shook me to pieces. caught that damn curb. This is over. Sorry about that, folks. And it's already 1 o'clock, so I got to take off.
Okay, you need to
So
final lap down. Give it all you can.
hate to leave it on a bad note, but I'll do something later on today. It'll probably be later on in the evening, so. But I want to thank you all for tuning in. And we will see you all later on this evening. Until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces. See you soon.